Chris Van Vliet did an interview with Paul Heyman, and apparently some interesting things were said. So we're gonna react to it. We're not gonna react to the whole thing because it's like 2 hours, but let's see what's up.
So it can be the most creative and the most innovative booking you've ever seen, but if it doesn't feed the algorithm, no one's going to see it. So then it's not efficient. It's not profitable. And any great booker, and I don't know who the top 5 experts in this world are in terms of booking, but I think any list would have to include me.
For sure.
And if I look at the job today, and I don't want the job today, because there are so many masters to serve, one of them being the algorithm, the other being the distributors. You have to please Netflix. You have to please NBCU. You have to please the purchasing audience. You have to please the talent. I get so many people write to me on LinkedIn, I want to be a WWE writer. I can change.
Okay, so basically what he's doing is he's trying to absolve Triple H of any blame when it comes to the state of today's product. But let's hear what he's going to say.
I get so many people write to me on LinkedIn, I want to be a WWE writer. I can change so many things for the better. I can make this the glory days of WWE. I have so many ideas. Good for you. How are you going to implement them?
The same way you implement bad ideas? Like what is that even?
Make me president of the United States. Great. But if I can't get anything past the Congress, can't get anything past the Senate, can't get anything past the Supreme Court, I'm going to be the least effective president that this country has ever seen.
Did bro just pull the TKO card? So what you're talking, I'll let him cook more.
The president has to sell his ideas to a bipartisan Congress, bipartisan Senate, and the Supreme Court, and the constituents that voted the president into office. You have to please a lot of masters. Paul Levesque is the...
And are we also implying that all these people are pleased with the state that we're in right now? Something's not adding up here.
Best person for that job. He's a collaborator. He pivots. He understands. And he understands that what works today may not work tomorrow, and what works tomorrow may not work in 2 days. He's brilliant at taking a look at the landscape and understanding, does this make sense? Is it logical? Does the storyline work? Will it create box office and interest and intrigue? Does it work for the characters involved?
You're losing.
Does it progress the characters involved and take them from being characters on a television show into becoming attractions? Look at the past 8 to 10 months in WWE. Obafemi has become an attraction.
Yes.
Trick Williams has become an attraction.
Yeah.
If Javon Evans is not labeled an attraction by the end of this summer, then someone's either not looking at it in the right perspective, or we messed up, and I don't think we're going to mess up with Javon Evans.
Let me take you back to the last time Paul Heyman got on somebody's show and spoke with this much confidence about somebody else real quick.
What do you make of what's going on with Karrion Kross?
In what way?
Something's happening. You see the crowd; they're chanting for him at the post show and all this stuff. He didn't get the W. Is there a thing here? Or is it just like the internet trying to make something into a thing?
Well, they've made it a thing.
Okay.
And it's not just the internet. It's the internet. It's the live crowd. It's the people that buy merchandise. He's a tremendous performer, and what an act he has with Scarlett. I mean, they are great together.
Should he be getting more opportunities? Should he be?
How do you know? Well, let me ask you this: if he were getting great opportunities, if he were the Intercontinental Champion or the U.S. Champion right now, would he have this level of support from the crowd?
No, they love to get behind, Kofi, Daniel Bryan. They love to get behind someone, the underdog, so to speak.
So it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
All right.
Yeah. It's organic. The audience is calling for him to be a bigger star. And if we don't deliver it on a timetable that an impatient audience, an impassioned audience is going to like, they're going to get behind him even more, which is great. They're making him a star. We're not shoving him and Scarlett down anybody's throats. The audience itself is making him a star, and indeed, perhaps a top star. And he's talented enough, and so is she, to carry it. It reminds me of someone else, by the way, that was in WWE, that the audience felt, this is our guy. We like this act. We like him to be a bigger star. Why aren't you making him a bigger star? Damn it, make him a bigger star. We're going to chant his name. We're going to bring his signs. We're going to buy his T-shirts. We're going to demand that you make him a bigger star. That guy's name was Steve Austin. We're how many years now into the Paul Levesque reign? It's a matter of serving all of these content needs on a creative basis. And he's doing it better now than he did just a couple of years ago when I stood during my Hall of Fame speech and told everybody I'm a Paul Levesque guy.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, what are we on? WrestleMania 42 just passed? 3 years ago, definitely, the product was way hotter than it is now. People were actually excited. The Rock was around and etc. It literally wasn't until Cody finished the story that things started going downhill. So you mean to tell me that him doing better now means that the product gets worse?
It's not just the way that, it's not just how he guides us, it's the manner in which he does so. And the collaborative effort with him is even better now than it was then. So you give me a few $1 billion and say, start a wrestling company, I'm hiring him for the job.
It's a difficult position he's in because when things are going well, he gets all the praise. When people don't like something, he gets all of the criticism, right? And he has to balance both of those. How does he do that, in your opinion?
Very well, seamlessly. I don't think he takes the compliments to heart, because I don't think he takes the invalid criticism to heart. And I think he's very good at differentiating between invalid criticism and valid criticism. And if the criticism is valid, he'll shift. When you script anything, give me 15 seconds of television to look into the camera and say something. And if you let me say something for weeks on end, at some point, the public is going to accept it. At some point.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Gabushki is the greatest unknown wrestler on the face of the planet today.
They actually do this, and it works on people. I've seen this, so I can't even knock them on this.
Cut, right? Next week on television. Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Joe Gabushki is the greatest talent that you've never heard of on the face of the planet today. 3, 2, 1, cut. Come back that Friday on SmackDown.
Classic WWE telling you what to like.
News. I don't know if you've heard this.
Or what to think.
Joe Gabushki will debut in WWE next week.
This only works on toddlers, by the way.
I guarantee you the ratings for that segment will be huge. Why?
Or e-brains.
Because Joe Gabushki is the greatest unheralded talent in history.
Anticipation. Yeah. And you sold it too.
Anticipation, repetition.
Like Blake Monroe or what?
Hype. And delivery. So if you tell people enough, so many times, that this is a fact, they'll accept it as a fact.
John Cena is the greatest of all time. No, he's not. But I guess some people think that because Michael Cole said it.
If I sit here and if we have nothing to deliver on Joe Gabushki that Monday, if someone doesn't come out that looks like Brock or Oba or Roman Reigns, if someone or something doesn't come out to the ring and wow you that Monday, then the next time I come on, I go, ladies and gentlemen, I know you don't believe this, but Victor vernacular is coming out next Monday. Fuck off. Why? Who cares? You lied to me the last time. So you not only have to hype it right, you got to deliver.
Yeah.
Which they don't.
In an industry that's built on embellishment and exaggeration.
Of course, yeah.
Hey, if you're a 7, take it up to a 10. If you're a 10, take it up to a 12. If you're 245 pounds, say you're 265.
Yeah.
Okay, one sec. I think we got one more portion to watch and then move on.
Fans feel like they know so much right now, especially because all of this information is constantly in our pocket. They feel like they could book this show better than anybody. What do wrestling fans not understand about putting together a wrestling show?
That it's not about the immediate moment.
Don't do that. I already know where this is going.
You asked me before what I do behind the scenes in WWE. I do not go into the weekly television meeting. I don't get into that level of micro anymore. I stay very macro. I attend the long-term meeting. The long-term creative meetings, I take the ride up to Stamford and I sit in on those meetings and love those days. My latest obsession has been, let's book out Saudi Mania. Let's get that done.
So you're already looking at that now.
Oh, I'm looking at the year after Saudi.
Wow.
Well. If it was up to me, and it's not, let's start there. We'll change it every week if we have to. We'll change it every time we meet. But let's get something that we're building towards. Let's write the last page now. And then let's build towards it. I would love to know what we're doing the year after Saudi at WrestleMania. I'd love to have a concept for that. Who is Roman Reigns' opponent then? Who's CM Punk's opponent then? Who's Logan Paul's opponent then? Who's Braun Breaker's opponent then? Who's Seth Rollins' opponent then? Jade Cargill's, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. What are we building towards? Because if we know that and we have a concept for that, then it makes Saudi Mania really easy. It's not about, oh, you know what I would do this Monday? Okay, but how does that affect the next Monday? How does that affect what I want to do in January? How does that affect the Royal Rumble? How does that affect Saudi Mania? How does that affect what I want to do the year after? Here's an example. Right now, we have lined up for Crown Jewel, the trilogy.
Right now with the current champions, you mean?
The champion on Raw is Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Champion on SmackDown is Cody Rhodes.
I see. Yes.
It's 1-1.
Yeah.
Before he gets into that, he basically said what we don't understand is it's not about the immediate moment. Fans do understand that. But if there's two extremes, just because you think we're here doesn't mean that you got to do this all the time with long-term storytelling. Because we've seen how many unfinished storylines there are because of that. You can't look that far ahead when there's an apocalypse every year with all these release waves. We don't know who's going to be here. You might have an idea of the super tippity top of the people, but after a certain point, you got to have a better balance. But anyways, let's hear what you got to say.
The champion on Raw is Roman Reigns.
Yes.
Champion on SmackDown is Cody Rhodes.
I see. Yes.
It's 1-1.
Yeah.
If they both retain the titles all the way to Crown Jewel,
Yeah.
we get the trilogy at Crown Jewel.
Right.
What an enormous main event. What a prestigious main event. What a historic main event for Crown Jewel.
Low key, that sounds like something WWE would be too scared to do. WWE been playing it safe. I feel like they wouldn't want any of these guys to lose, so they're just going to cop out anyway when it comes to it. They might sell the idea, but when it comes to the actual execution, it's going to be like an interference or something.
You want to sell Crown Jewel? You want that to be...
Well, I guess you just said it. They're just worried about selling it.
That to be a hot ticket, both in terms of selling tickets and on the secondary market.
How about doing a good product?
Put the trilogy match there.
Yeah.
Wow. What a main event. What an attraction for Crown Jewel. Let's say we don't want to give it away.
I see where you're going here.
Let's say we want to do that in Saudi.
WrestleMania 43.
Let's say we don't want to do that at WrestleMania 43. Let's say we want to make them wait another year. What will be WrestleMania 44? Will that be the tribal chief Roman Reigns against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes? Will that be a return to villainous tribal chief?
This is why we don't get nice things, by the way. They sit on things for so long that moments pass us by. But okay, go ahead and cook.
Head of a new bloodline, Roman Reigns, against the hopeful, come from behind, against all odds, virtuous American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes? Will that be the first WrestleMania of a villainous Cody Rhodes against my righteous tribal chief, Roman Reigns?
We're finally going to get Homelander, guys.
Well, I can't get to that by Saudi, but I can by the next year. Maybe I just want to pull that trigger for that trilogy in Saudi at WrestleMania. Maybe I want to build up Crown Jewel so big that I place that main event there and I end the trilogy at Crown Jewel. Maybe I look at all these main events that I can get to. Well, what will the main event be at Saudi Mania? Will Brock Lesnar be involved? Will Obafemi be involved? Will Trick Williams be involved? Will Randy Orton be involved? Will Javon Evans be involved? Will Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed?
Okay, so anyways, let me pose this as a different question. Guys, so to sum this up in the reality of the situation, how much dog shit are you willing to dig through to find one little piece of gold coin?
Rhea Ripley, who's going to be involved? Well, I look at that dynamic. I don't need this match for...
The product has to be good at the same time all around.
You know where I need it? I need it for the Royal
Rumble. Not just one thing.
Let's do the trilogy match at the Royal Rumble. So therefore, either Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or neither can be champion going into Crown Jewel. I need to move one or both of these championships around and offer something different to be big box office at Crown Jewel so that I can then present the trilogy at the Rumble where I need it, at Saudi Mania where I want it, at WrestleMania 44 where I've made you wait long enough to get maybe SummerSlam next year at a stadium. All these factors, because when you decide to do something, it takes away everything else that you can possibly do. All your
Also, by concept of what he's saying, making people wait, why didn't this apply when it came to Cody finishing his story? Obviously, we could have waited, but we decided not to, and now because of that, we're probably never going to get Rock versus Roman. So it's like...
then are removed from the table because you made the decision, this is the way we're going to do it. I can book, I can write, I can be the best booker of all time. Here's what you do on Monday night. Great, thank you very much. And what's the follow-up? And what are the ramifications?
That's not that hard of a situation. That's a hard question to answer, dude. If it was, I'll speak for only myself. If it was me, then obviously I'm going to have more than just one episode's worth of shit in my head, creatively speaking, of where I want to go with certain people. I have so many ideas, but I'm not even going to turn this into that. But it's like, he's almost making it sound like the week-to-week shows aren't important. It's all about the grand picture of what you're going to do with the main event. Everything else can just be trash. The main event's going to carry. And that's the problem with the product, and it shows.
That decision, and what equity does it take off the table that I can never go back to because you're giving it away this Monday night?
So what you're saying is a lot of times we see something play out on a Monday or on a Friday that actually will have a payoff a month from now, maybe 6 months from now, perhaps even longer.
Hey, remember when Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were breaking up forever? And Austin was about to go babyface, but then no, now he's a heel in the Vision, and it's not the career resurgence that we thought it was going to be for him. Head ass.
It's the first thing you learn in chess. Look at the whole board. What's the first thing you learn when you start to learn how to drive? Never look right in front of you. Look as far down the road as possible. All these analogies in life play out. if you're just doing the chess moves, rook to knight 3, okay. It's hot shot. It's short term. It's narrow casting. I want to broadcast.
I don't play chess. I play Connect 4. Get on my level.
I want tomorrow to have more box office than today, and 2 days from now to have more box office than tomorrow. And I can't do that if I'm doing knee-jerk reactions to what just happened this past Monday, this past Friday, or at the Premium Live event. Can't. There has to be a long-term plan. There has to be an overall arc that we're trying to achieve. And we have to at least be cognizant of what could possibly be next after this story runs its course.
So I've been seeing a lot of comments on YouTube.
We'll leave it there. That portion's pretty much done anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to check this out. Shout out to Chris Van Vliet, by the way. This guy gets a lot of people on from like WWE and whatnot, just to get their interior thoughts. So, but anyways, Tyzik Thunder, and I'm out.